Let's see. We're laying. Wait, no, y'all. This is why you can't have all these co-hosts added to your show. Hey, everybody. It's Doxy. I'm in here in a different space tonight. Come on in. Let's come on in, everybody. Come on in. Hey, Tony. How's everybody? Come on in. Come on in. Come on. Can y'all see me? Is it dark? How is the internet? We're in a different space today. So hopefully... Oh, yeah, that's much better. That gave us some light. We probably got to bring the other one in, too, to lighten the space. So we're in our media room today. So as you guys know, my my closet, go get the other one and put it over there. My prayer closet is not big enough for everybody. So, hey, come on in. I got my cap on. Y'all be praying for me. I am still having these headaches. So, y'all keep me in prayer. Keep me in prayer. Keep me in prayer. I went to the eye doctor today and they tried to tell me to start wearing glasses. So we're going to see. They just said that right eye here is strained. And so it's going to be good though. I'm believing that it's going to work out. It's going to work out. It's even a little irritated and swole, but that's all right. It's going to be good. In fact, I probably need to. It might be a little red or irritated, but it's good. Nonetheless, I am here. And normally if I'm on here by myself, y'all know I'll be on here by now. So I let your wonderful Doc A, he gets my tablet at night or in the morning for wake up. And guess what? I just got ready to get my tablet and there's no battery. Once again, he's used my battery. Hey, Annie. Hey, Ann. Hey, everybody. Come on in. It's Nightcap. It's Nightcap tonight. The topic is there is still hope. There is still hope. There is still hope that at some point my husband is going to be on time. He's going to be on time. He's going to be on time. D-Sal, thank you for joining. I got 10 people. So because I only have one gadget tonight, guys, if you guys can share for me on my behalf, that would be wonderful because I only have my phone. Catherine, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Go ahead and tag tonight. We're going to talk about there's still hope. After the fall. After the fall, there's still hope. I have MJ. A lot of people loved when MJ is on, so he does pretty good. So I'm going to probably let him do most of the talking tonight. Hey, Nika. Thank you for joining.
Slide down a little.
Oh, I need to slide down. See, y'all. I should. Somebody told me not to let him talk because he need to get his own show. Don't let him take over. And I'd say he need to get his own stuff too. He ain't gonna be taking over my nightcap with his inserts.
Now I'm gonna get one's gonna be swag cap.
Swag cap.
I mean, not say that before they keep me to my word.
Yeah, they'll be saying let's do it, let's do it, let's do it. So we reached out to some people on yesterday, because June is the month that we do our family series at church. We cover family topics and different things that's going on with individuals and families. And so for the month of June, we are covering family topics. And so as we were talking on Tuesday, and they came on one of the broadcasts that I had on Tuesday about commitment, and we got a lot of feedback. We got a lot of private messages and a lot of text messages, a lot of messaging on and all of that. And people just saying how they were really blessed by that topic. Please don't turn the fan on. I'm already cold. I'm like cold. See, this is what happens when you have to work with other people. You can't be, they won't air, they won't. It's cool up here. No, please don't, turn it down. They about to, see, they about to get evicted already. I hope y'all enjoy them tonight because I don't know if they're going to be on here much longer. I don't think they're going to be on here. So tonight's topic is there's still hope. Go ahead and say hello to everybody. If we have any first time guests, what we normally do is we greet everybody in the village. Hey, Pam, how are you? Tina, thank you for joining. Alicia, thank you for joining. If we have any first-time guests in the village, go ahead and say hello to them. Say hello to your brothers and sisters that you haven't said hi to all day or either all week. You haven't said anything to each other until we come here on the broadcast. So go ahead and love it up while you share with people, men and women. Don't just tag women, because oftentimes on Facebook, hey, Crystal, how are you? They have you out. They got me out of my closet, Alicia. Yep. Hey, Pam, how are you feeling? I pray everything went well with you. I pray everything is going well with you and continue. Hey, China. MJ, your boo is on here. And so I want to also, hey, Catherine, I also want to make sure that I put this out there. Tina, how are you? Thank you for joining, girl. So good to see you. Miriam in the Carolinas. Hey, Jeanette. We missed you, girl. Where you been? We ain't seen you in a while. How are you? I want to say I really, 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 really appreciate the feedback we get from the broadcast, because most of the times I miss some things that come up because people will be texting and strolling and screaming. And so I was talking to someone yesterday and they were reminding me of the fact that sometimes we call other names and skip some names. And so I want to make sure that in case we miss your name, if you text or say something, try to put it back in there again in case we miss it. Because oftentimes when people, like as I'm talking, I'm not really looking at the messages. I'm looking toward the screen, but I'm not really looking at the message. So I may miss what you say because I can only see 2 at a time. So if 2 or 3 people are talking, it automatically pushes your comments and things up. So put it back in there if I don't say anything or greet you or stuff like that. And I've also had people that say, hey, you didn't say hi to me. And I said, well, were you on there? They say, yeah. So I didn't see you say anything. And so I also want to say hello to my viewers, because I have a lot of people that watch. Like right now, Miriam said, what's up, nephew? I have a lot of people that watch and they never comment. So I want to make sure I tell you how much we really appreciate you taking time out of your schedule to join us in our night conversations and chatting and just watching and just your support. Even if you don't say anything, Deidre Mays, thank you so much for joining. Even if you don't say anything or comment, I want to really thank you for just taking time out of your schedule to just support me, to just listen to me talk. And so we really, really appreciate that. So tonight's topic is what, MJ?
We changed it like 6 times. What is it?
What did I send to you? See what I'm talking about? You have a co-host. They don't read the
No.
They don't study.
One.
You got them that always want to be the spotlight, that show up late to the party. Every time you turn around, they want to be seen. They want to knock the host out of viewing, and they won't. Look at him.
What's up, fam?
See, they want the spotlight on themselves because they just like being late and they just like all the attention. So is there's hope, right?
Yes, there's hope. There's hope.
Okay, work with me, team. Are y'all praying for them tonight? See, y'all been requesting these stragglers to come up in my nightcap, and they not even prepared. I don't want my followers to drop off. Who is that? Neil. Hey, my family, love you. Hey, Neil, how are you? Hey, good to see you. See? Come on, can you be still?
I'm trying to find
See?
Go ahead.
We cannot have co-hosts on nightcap anymore. We're going to just...
I showed up on time. I did show up on time. 9 o'clock on the dot.
They're going to have their own show because they are distractions. We are talking about there is still hope.
Right, there is.
And so when we were talking about there is still hope, how did we come up with that?
Because, hey
Carmen, thank you for joining. Hey, Myra.
2 of the topics we're going to be talking about today is how to stay pure, and if you already lost your virginity, how to...
What's up, family?
See, I'm talking, he breaking scenes and everything. We are in the flow. You cannot... We're going to vote him off the show. He cannot come in here distracting us. Y'all know, y'all already talked. Look, don't stop speaking to him, Amy. What's up, bro? Caitlin said, hey. Hey, Caitlin. Hey, Annette, how are you? Look, nobody speak to Doc A no more, right?
That's okay. Listen,
do not.
Somebody in the family has to go to the gym and be committed. So I'm just committed to going to my work. This is my normal workout routine. Normally I don't come in till 10 o'clock. So I did good by getting here at 9.
Look, China said, wake up.
Wake up! I like that.
First of all, he late and then he tried to throw us on the bus.
I didn't throw y'all on the bus. I love
you.
You
just threw a slide comment talking about at least somebody got to still go to the gym. Like he don't like.
But this is my normal routine.
But we are on time with what we need to do. See, what we're not gonna do is. I'm glad this is not in my prayer closet. Y'all see, he trying to start division.
And I have my cup. Look, I got my cup in here. Look, she kicked me out.
Hi, Shalonda. Hi, Tiana. Who is that? Tiana? Hey, Tiana. Thank y'all. If we can ever get started.
Okay, go ahead.
Without the
At
distraction.
least he got his nightcap on.
I'm gonna have to drop. I'm gonna have to drop
he
off.
was in violation last. No, you're not gonna drop off.
But I need to get my phone to help get some more people.
We're gonna do what we have. You cannot leave anymore.
Okay.
Can y'all please, everybody right now say, Doc A focus. He does not have ADHD. I don't know why. He just be moving and can't sit still. I need everybody to start typing down there. Help Law Myra say Doc A stay focused. I need y'all while y'all focus. I'm about to go to sleep. Girl, go to bed. You'll catch the replay tomorrow. We know you're out.
Good night.
But everybody else, hey Yvonne, I need you to start. Just type stay focused. Can y'all please type stay focused, please? Stay focused. I need him to read y'all comments about how important it is. Fadri, I need you to tell Doc A, stay focused. This is not wake up. Annette, help your brother out. Say stay focused. Neil, Brittany, please tell Doc A. Thank you, Yvonne. Stay focused. I need at least 3 more. Amira, thank you. Can I get 2 more people, please? Just 2 more people, please, to tell him to stay focused. 2 more. Don't leave me out there by myself. Don't leave me. So
while y'all tell me to stay focused, are you all sharing? Because
thank you, Neil.
I guarantee, Neil, people, I owe you something, man.
Thank you, China. Thank you. Thank you. Now they coming in. Thank you.
Good.
Thank you.
So if y'all, while I'm staying focused,
you,
be
Catherine.
sure to share.
Thank you.
Be sure to share.
Y'all share with the. If they ever find out what we talking about, they might want to share.
Okay.
We got to get to the points and to the meat, because I know y'all ready. Thank you. Now they coming in. Stay focused. So help them out, MJ. Tell them what's going on.
Okay, so make sure you do share that way. We get the village back in here, but one of the topics is how to stay pure in a relationship. I know a lot of people say that's not smart or dumb or weird, but I'm letting you. It's time to change the game. Or if you already lost your virginity, how to recuperate, get back into that motion, stay pure until you do get married.
So how do we get to that? Because what was the title one of the titles we were gonna name this with staying focused? There's hope.
Somebody stole your cookie.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Somebody stole your cookie. The Cookie Monster stole your cookie. Take your cookies back.
I let the Cookie Monster take my cookies.
Okay.
Not stole. That sounds bad.
Somebody stole
you
your
don't
cookie.
want nobody to steal the cookies. That's a violation.
Okay, well you were fast and gave your cookies away. Now take your cookies back.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, I'm focused.
Really?
I'm focused. Come on. All right.
A man can't be fast. So what happens if a man?
Man can't be fast.
Can?
I don't think
It's the same thing.
No, they call men managed. They don't call men fast.
Manage is not true. I mean, manage is not a good. Manage is it's manage.
Manage is for the male. Am I the only one that knows that when you're talking about a nasty man that be getting his well, he ain't nasty, but when the males just get off and do their thing, aren't they saying, "Oh, he managed"? Don't y'all remember those words?
I guess that was, I do
they
remember that.
They don't say the man is fast.
You're right.
They would say the girl is fast. Tell the girl is fast. But have y'all ever heard of a fast man?
No, not a fast man.
They're called thoughts. That's what they're called.
Well, in this generation, they may be called thought. But at my age, they were saying the men. Thank you, Brittany. The men are managed. Yes. Thank you, Tony. Managed. The men are managed, and the girls were being fast. Thank you, Malcolm. Welcome, Malcolm. Managed, not
Where's
thank you.
On here?
Thank you, Amar. Thank you. Okay, so here's our point. That one of the topics that we were gonna say, stay focused. Right. One of the topics of There's Still Hope was help. I gave my cookies away to the Cookie Monster. He said he thought they were called what? The Hussein Boat. I gave my cookies to the Cookie Monster. And so we found out that a lot of people really feel like once they've what do you want to say?
Release the urge.
Release the urge. Is that what we want to say?
Yeah, but can we give just one thing that we stated we was gonna do in reference to questions so they can prepare for that?
Oh yes.
So this is what we're gonna do, family, tonight. Again, as MJ said, let's be sure to share. Sharing is caring. Share if you love a friend, share with 10. But what we're gonna do tonight is gonna be very, very different. I hope that you have your nightcaps on, because what we're gonna do at the end of this,
or clothes,
clothes for sure.
Please close.
Please close. So what we're gonna do at the end of this teaching, at the end of this,
or during the point when when we say
or during a
something.
point when we say something, we're going to ask for you all to present questions. And what we're going to do, Facebook has a new feature to where we can bring you on live and you can ask your question to everybody live versus typing it in.
So is that why I have two red people right
So
there?
you have this button right here. So
Okay.
what we're going to do is, if you are bold enough to come on here with us on Facebook Live,
We're going to put you on the camera.
we're going
and
to
they're
put you on the
gonna see
camera. Everybody can see you, and you can present your question to us. And then after you present your question, we're going to take you off of Facebook Live. So I want you all to, let's make this interactive. Mr. Alex, I just came from the gym, so he's my guy. But check this out. We want to be sure that we can be very interactive. We want to take this to another level because my wife has done a phenomenal job. So if you have a question, if you are bold enough to make this more interactive, we would like for you to come on live. We will punch the button, and you can hit the button.
Punch it or press it?
We can punch the button. I'm
No,
from
don't
Louisiana.
punch my phone.
We
Press
can
the button.
punch the button means
No,
press in Louisiana.
no.
Let me
Press.
finish. Punch the button. When I punch the button, then you're gonna be able to come on live with us. So just like your favorite part, say Ebony came on and says bring them on live. So I can bring you on live right now, Ebony, if you have a question. So as we progress to the end of this, or as we have questions, or we open up for questions and answers, be sure to hit the button so we can bring you on live. All right?
So one of the things that we were talking about, as we were saying, is people feel like there is no hope after they've lost their virginity. They feel like they cannot redeem themselves. They feel like, okay, well, once I've given it up once, twice, 3 times, I might as well just keep going around. Like, it is what it is. There is no redeeming myself. And then people tend to look at them or look down on them and make them feel less than. They don't give them the support that they really need to get back on their feet and start over again. And so they feel like once they've lost their virginity, it's over. Yeah. It's like their purity cannot be restored. In a sense, you cannot get your hymen back. You cannot get the first moments back, but you can always get a pure heart. So why do we often say you can't get your purity back? Because that's not really true, because when we come into God, when we come into Christ, God, and we accept Christ, no matter how many times we've slept with people, when we accept God in our life and ask him to forgive and say, okay, God, I want to get right with you, from that moment on, he takes all the things, no matter how many people we slept with, he takes that, and it says our sins, as far as from the east is to the west, everything is a clean slate all over again. So from that moment, I am pure again. Absolutely. I may not have
you lost the physical aspect of it, but then you're renewing your mind to put yourself back in position again to where you can focus and keep your purity into a marriage.
Right. So then that's where most people then say, I'm walking this celibate life. I'm holding my cookies in my jar. I talked to somebody today and they was like so happy. They was like, man, it's been 2 years since I done held these cookies. I'm like, 2 years? Good job. Like,
Absolutely.
keep it going. And so they're grown, but for them 2 years is a marker. Like, you have to celebrate the wins with those who are trying. And so that's what we want to know. We want to let you all know that's out there, that when you fall, there is hope. Now, we don't tell you to go out there and keep giving away your cookies to every convenience store that's out there. That's not what we're saying. We're not telling you to put your cookies on the market and give discounts. No, that's not what we're saying, to let everybody taste the cookies and the flavors. No, that's not what we're saying. But we are saying that at a point where you decide to redeem yourself, when there's a point that you decide to step back and say, you know what, that part of me is old. That part of me has passed away. That part, you know what, I want to do something different. But will people actually look at me different? Will they actually, what'd she say?
Celebrate the celibacy.
Oh.
Celebrate the celibate. My God, it's rough out here. Yes,
So,
I know it's rough. It's really, really rough. Hey, baby. It's really, really rough, but I know that there are keys, that we'll give the keys at the end of this to show you how do you maintain your purity until you find that one person to give away. But I know that it is tough. It is tough, and I'm trying to maintain my PG-ness.
She said, hashtag Sam's Club behavior. What is a Sam's Club behavior? Now, that's a moment that I need to turn the camera over and be like, okay, add this person. You got to explain a Sam's Club behavior. Well, I don't know what that one is.
Sam's Club is like a better Walmart. You know, it's for everybody. Sam's Club. You got a premium membership. Only certain people can get in the Sam's Club.
Oh, okay.
Shoes.
Okay. So explain to us, what does it feel like, MJ, MJ from a younger person perspective, because I know for me, when I got pregnant at an early age, it was like a disgrace. It was like an embarrassment. You felt like a failure. You felt like everybody stared at you and was like, "Ooh, you did the nasty. Ooh, you nasty. Ooh, how dare you?" But at the same time, in my mind, I'm thinking like, no, I wasn't giving out samples. I gave out samples like you letting everybody taste it. I wasn't giving out samples. I served an appetizer or an entree, but it wasn't no.
Wow.
It wasn't no. It was an entree, but it wasn't. Anyway, I would stay focused. But they were looking at me like, you like, how dare you do this? Like, you're so nasty. And see, in the generation I came up with, a lot of people, they said don't have sex, but it wasn't really the conversation of
why. They only gave you the spiritual benefits and not the physical benefits.
Well, it wasn't even necessarily the spiritual benefit. It was more of, it's nasty, don't do it. And so, and it's just something you just don't do. And then, or it was just something you just didn't talk about. And so, when you fail, when you had young girls like me who really wanted to do good, who really wanted to be successful and not be the statistics. The problem was the ones that was really fast and have given out samples and all kind of stuff, they were never the ones that got pregnant. They were never the ones that got caught because they knew how to do it. Yeah, it was the ignorant ones, it was the ignorant ones like me that didn't have any real information and no knowledge of what's going on that got caught. And so once you fail,
no, it's not that you got caught.
And once you do it and find out it ain't nasty, you want to do it more. You just want to keep doing it.
Because and if I put a tagline on it, it's called being holy and horny.
Wow.
What'd you say?
Being holy.
It's called being holy and horny at the same time. That's the truth of the matter. A lot of people don't bring it out like that. You can say that in my church. You can call it samples. You can call it whatever you want to call it. You can call it what all my single ladies. You need to wash your mouth out with soap. All the single ladies, what it's called, and all my single men, it is called being holy and horny at the same time. So how do I solve this issue? I am holy and horny. Be truthful, young ladies. I know that if you gave the cookies away one time, then you always want to give away samples. So right now, you're trying to hold back because you are worshiping God, but you're really horny. Tell the truth. So I just got to bring that part to it because that's the truth.
No longer giving cookies, but giving crumbs.
You're not even giving crumbs. You're giving entrees to everybody.
Oh, okay.
You're giving everybody the delicacy.
So you saying everybody getting the entree?
Yeah, how you giving people part? You giving them the whole entree.
Oh, well, at least you pray before the meal.
Yeah. No, you did pray before the meal. Oh, you pray after the meal or during the meal. But you didn't pray during the meal. You prayed during the meal. Oh Lord, what have I gotten myself into? If you're being truth, I'm sorry, y'all being too nice. And people in church right now, we try to be too nice and not really tell the truth because there are people in the church right now that is being, let's be honest with you all. There are people right now in the church, yeah, you know the kingdom of God, you pay your tithes every single Sunday, but what happens when you go home and you see that male figure on that commercial with his chest dripping with six packs? What do you really think? What goes through your mind? Do you really turn the TV off and just start praying to Jesus? No, you go through a physical, emotional feeling that something that's taking place. All of your juices begin to come up.
Yep, bro, I be horny.
Yep, there you go. So all of it, I like it. The truth. Tell the truth. Our family series this year, we're going to tell the truth and stop trying to wrap it up with all this holy religious words. No, you horny. But how do you handle the situation of you not being horny? When you holy, yeah, it's okay to be holy. Being horny or having the feeling to want to have sex is a natural thing. You don't want God to take that away. But you want to understand how to maintain it and how to control it. You never want that feeling to take away. It is natural for a man and a woman to want to have sex with each other. But the thing is, the reason why you keep your virginity is because once you give it away, then you can never go back because there's one feeling. Listen, let me break it down like this. God only meant for one man and one woman. I'm going to say it again. One man, real man, and one woman. You were born with kahunas and you were born with a rebel.
That's good, Miriam.
Okay, so what happens is when these two came together, God created sex, and He wanted you to multiply consistently through this sex. So He created this thing to happen, and for you to have an explosion. And when you have this explosion, like 3-second explosion, when you have when you had that 3-second explosion, then at one time,
I hope everybody. Wait, hold on. Disclaimer. I hope I don't have little nieces on here. I'm sorry. Should have probably put a disclaimer out here that tonight.
What is
But tonight might be a little. It's probably gonna be PG and up. It's not gonna be G rated probably tonight. So if you got little ears in here, you might want to go ahead and if they ain't not already left the room.
Okay, so
but they do watch you.
They tell them at school.
But I'm just saying because your mouth right now is not censored, and I just don't know what's gonna roll. I'm just saying if there are little babies on here, I want the people.
Babe, listen.
No, hold on. I don't want you tearing up people's households.
I ain't talking about household. That household already tore up. Listen, if my daughter was
screaming.
wake up, and I've been loud since you knew me, and I can't stop moving. Check this out. I'm gonna give you the example. Check this out. Listen to me. Everybody focus on me.
Stop. No,
listen to this.
This is nightcap.
Okay, nightcap. We gonna talk low. We gonna worry about. We gonna talk real loud. So listen, I'm gonna talk low like nightcap. We're gonna have no slow music. Check this out.
Cause you ran my battery out.
Okay, check this out. Now I'm gonna give you this. This the truth. All the jokes aside. Okay, my daughter is 16. She's trying to enjoy the nasty cafeteria food. Okay, they give her the tray, and just imagine you are 16 years old. You're in the cafeteria. You look out a window and you see people having sex broad daylight on a bench right in front of you. You eating your banana pudding, and you look out the window and you see people having sex in broad daylight. This is taking place at the schools right now. Having sex broad daylight on the bench or people walk by like it's cool. Why we can't in the church while hiding and being truthful or releasing what the world is giving our kids. So we try to sugarcoat everything instead of being real with what's really going on. So what we're giving you on here, we're giving you true facts or what really happens. And so because if you're not being truthful with your kids, I guarantee they probably know it and you don't even know they know it. So what I'm trying to talk about today is okay, so I pulled it down. The reason why, I'm going to pull it down, okay? The reason why it's hard for you to turn back is because God naturally created the woman and the man to have sex with each other. That's natural. That's why I always warn my son, and I warn any young ladies, that you don't need to be alone with no man by yourself. All my single ladies, you don't need to put yourself in position to be in a corner by yourself with a man because the natural feelings are going to occur. And so when you have the natural feelings, then me having an emotional feeling to want to have sex with another lady or the man want to do the same exact thing, then that's natural. That's why you protect yourself. So it is meant for one man and one woman to get together. And then when they have this mutual feeling, then my feeling with you, I only have this feeling with you one time. So then the security of me loving you and wanting to experience this with you over and over again, it comes because I only experienced this with one time. But the issue is that so many people are doing it with so many people and you having this experience with so many people, and now when you're trying to become celibate, these feelings that were only supposed to come out with just one person, they're coming all the time and they can't be controllable. So what we want to give you on tonight is to show you how to control these same feelings that are natural. Don't ask for these feelings to be taken away. You want to make sure that you can put yourself in position that these feelings don't come up. Okay?
Yeah, that's true, Shalonda. I'm glad that you tell it because we're honest with our kids, but some people don't. But then I like to respect other people's household as well to give you an option to decide
yes, ma'am.
What you will want your children exposed to because some people want the right to tell their children themselves and some people do not. So basically, TK said basically stop Netflixing and chilling with dudes. If we be honest with ourselves, Netflixing is what caused most of us to fall. Blockbuster, Netflixing, and Redbox.
I Hulu to sleep.
And Hulu. But Hulu have good movies on there too. Especially, okay, the topic is there's still hope after fall, right?
No, what she's saying, basically stop Netflix and chilling with dudes. So you watching movies with a dude in the room by yourself.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's what I'm saying. What happens is when we say, for instance, like if we're dating and stuff and we laid up on the couch and we watching movies, right? For instance, the new popular show everybody loves is Game of Thrones. That's what they keep telling us. We haven't watched it. Well, MJ probably watched it. You haven't watched it?
That's one of the things I cannot watch.
Okay, so like Game of Thrones. When
Okay, Brittany asked,
when
when is the proper age to bring the sex talk up to your child?
I'm gonna be honest. They get exposure in middle school, so it has to be probably.
You want to join the conversation?
Probably before.
Join the conversation.
Probably before 6th grade. But then again, you got some nasty kids that be in elementary school too.
Just come sit back here.
So
Well, she can sit.
She can sit
We
back
got
here.
another one that want to join us tonight. My 60-year-old, I guess she's loving the topic, so
Yep,
she
come
wants to
on.
join. Come on, just win the media room tonight. So, Shalonda says she started in elementary to a certain extent, and I agree. You don't give everything. You can't give raw information to an element. Their kids can't handle all of that. So you have to give it to them in bite size.
Mm-hmm.
If you have elementary kids, then you have to start talking to them about their sexuality and what are good touches and what are bad touches.
Yep.
Because oftentimes is in the schools you're having people touch on people that and they don't even know if it's good or not. So I would start with, kissing it. When
Kissing,
they're
get
little,
you
you
pregnant.
tell it. When they're young, they're kissing everybody. Oh, give granddad a kiss, give uncle a kiss, give auntie a kiss, give them a hug. This, that, and the third. And so what happens is in society, then all of these people that you're training them to kiss, eventually when they get to school, then like I've had little people that like want to come into the kids and just want to kiss on them and stuff. And so even at that age, you should teach them what are good kisses and what are bad kisses, and that hey, you can't allow everybody to kiss on you. That's not safe.
Yeah.
That's not good. That's not heavy. We're so quick to talk about just say no to strangers, but we don't say, that kind of stuff. The more they can home asking questions from here. Oh, the more they came home asking questions from others, children, the more I would open up to right. If your kids are coming home and asking you questions, then answer the questions in a terminology for their ears to be able to understand.
Yeah.
Pam says the school gives them a smarter class in the 5th grade, a starter class in the 5th grade. I did it before then. So she's saying it depends on the district. And some of you need to look at the curriculum because you're right. Because in 5th grade, they're already teaching them about sexuality and then their private parts and how birth controls and things like that. Like they start teaching all that kind of stuff 5th, 6th, and 7th grade. I know in the 6th grade, they start sending notes like, hey, we're going to talk about contraceptions and all of this. So they're already talking about contraceptives in the 6th grade. So you want to start making sure that you look at your child. Find out, for me, I was able to see what my kids are looking at the most on YouTube. Like my kids love YouTube. So when you check their YouTube channel and you see that they watch more love movies than cartoons, then their mind is already trained and thinking about relationships. If they're watching more cartoons or they're watching music videos that have a lot of sexual stuff, watch your kids. Some of us don't pay attention to our children. So you need to watch your children and find out what are they listening to? What kind of music do they like to sing? What kind of videos or television shows that they just love? Like all the time they're watching. And so that'll help you decide what kind of conversations to have with your kids.
Yeah, so
now,
I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead. I was finna say, just ask Ariana, since she's here, at what was the youngest age, when was the first time she heard about sex? At what age?
Hey, come around some more. There's no... Go ahead.
First time I heard about it?
Yeah, what age?
Well, I mean, that probably wouldn't... Mine wouldn't go for everybody because then again, y'all were teen pastors, y'all were teen ministers.
So it was different. So she heard it early because we started bringing her around early to talk about concepts.
Okay, so I'm going to ask a different question. So by us telling you this when you were younger, how did this prepare you when you heard it at school?
Oh, okay, answer that question.
Prepare me before school?
Right, so when you heard it from us the first time and you heard it at school from a different angle, what was your reaction to it?
I mean, I don't know.
What was the first time you heard something different outside or saw something different than what we told you or showed you?
Oh, then that was middle school because everybody be talking about, oh, I'm doing this with somebody. Because the way y'all taught me...
Can y'all hear her? Give me a thumbs up if y'all hear her. Go ahead. Talk to
the way y'all told me, it was two married people making love to each other. At school, it's two strangers smashing. That's how it went down. So it's kind of like I don't know how to describe it.
So just tell them what the conversation would be, so they can know what their kids could probably be
Yeah,
listening to.
what was the age you first had that conversation with Ariana?
I would say 9. Was it before then?
9 years old?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, probably.
I would say probably around 9, 8 or 9.
8 or 9 years old.
Yeah, around 8 or 9, we start talking to her about, well, was it, about 7 when we had the conversation about good touches, bad touches?
Mm-hmm.
Was it, so around 7, I started talking to her about good touches and bad touches.
Yeah.
Also,
And then from there, we went from there.
And make sure that you have that conversation with not only your daughters but your sons too,
That's
about
good.
the touches.
Yeah.
Because a lot of guys do go through stuff, but because they're guys or boys in a sense, they don't open up, and they'll never bring it up because they never asked that question. A lot of daughters will ask that question because the women, hey, has anybody touched you wrong? Has, let me know. And they'll be like, no. But had nobody ever asked the boys or the guys, have they ever been touched wrong? Because there are a lot of guys who go through that situation, but they cover it up because they feel like, I just got taken advantage of a woman, and most people laugh at that situation instead of helping them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's good, because that's one of the things that we found out that we missed the mark on. Like, we try to catch a lot of things, and we can catch things, but oftentimes that you're not able to catch everything. And so where we were focused on making sure our girls were safe, then we didn't give him all the same information that we should have gave her. I mean, we didn't give him all the information we gave her about good touches, bad touches, good, because you think as a boy, as a male,
I said, see, really,
you
Cation
think
is
that
9,
it's kind of,
and I would have never think to start talking to him about sex.
Very
so
good.
that's important. So Mr. Alex says, let's remember, bring up a child in the way they should go, and when they get older, it won't depart from them.
Absolutely.
Sex education starts at home.
Yes, sir.
And that's it's true. And what I'm finding out more and more is that the government system is finding more and more ways to control your household and your kids and what you say and how you say to them. And they're putting it in the correct. I forgot to put the do not disturb on. I'm sorry if it glitches. I forgot to put the do not disturb on. Can we pause?
No, just keep going.
So, because it's gonna keep doing
Keep going,
it.
babe. Keep going. You good.
The what was I saying?
The government teaching.
Oh, the
kids.
government, the curriculum and stuff. It's in the curriculum whether we approve it or not, on whether we want our kids to understand about sex, especially in science and health, things like that. It's going to be in the curriculum, so you might as well start doing it. Somebody says, I tell my baby, do not let anyone touch you, and you don't touch them either. And that's true, because oftentimes we'll say don't let anybody touch you, but we don't cover the fact that they shouldn't be touching people either.
Another question was, what do you say to a 9-year-old to tell them about sex? It didn't come up here, but it came up on here. For 9-year-olds, you really don't have to be graphic about it or overthinking it. It's really just teaching them what not to do, and then what's normal and what's not normal. So whether it's a guy or your son or your daughter, you tell the child is like, make sure nobody's touching you this way, make sure nobody's taking pictures of you this way, make sure
That's
even
good about
if
the
it's
pictures.
even if it's not in a joking matter, make sure they don't touch you, period. Because if you allow them to let somebody touch them in a joking matter, then they're gonna always think they're joking, but in reality it's satisfaction toward them.
And that's true. And then some people even said the cartoons have it.
Yeah.
So the cartoons are showing, and a lot of the TV shows, the kids shows, all the time. What was the show that you guys used to watch? Used to have all the kissing and then the homosexuality and all that kind of stuff in there. Do you remember? Was it like it was Nickelodeon shows and stuff like that? There's a lot of things that are out there. So it's important that you talk to your kids, because what happens is, if they do get to that point to where they've crossed the line, then like our topic says, there is still hope.
Yep.
You have to make sure that you let them know that that's not the end of the world. What you do is you sit down and you make ways for them to communicate about it and talk about the experiences and listen to their hearts and find out what happened and what went wrong in the process and help them heal from it. Because oftentimes they'll feel like there's no comeback. They'll feel like they are a failure, and they'll feel like that part of their life stopped them from becoming great. They'll feel like that part of that life has crush them and cause them to not even have any more value. And so what we have to do as a support team, as the parents, as the uncles, as the sisters, or as the brothers, what we have to do is we have to let them know that all things can be made new in God. It's like, okay, once you get to this place to where you're saying, okay, this is what used to happen, but now I want to have a new mind. Now I want to do something different. Then that way you begin to change from the outside in or inside out. However it affected you. If it affected you from the outside first, you would work your way on the inside. If it affected you from the inside first, then you start changing from the outside and let it come into the inside of you to change your perspective. Because a lot of times it's our environments. Our environments are things that keep us confused, and it makes us feel like we can never grow, or we'll never be good enough, or we'll never have enough, or we'll always be looked at this way or that way. And so we want to let you know tonight, as we talk about other things other than the topic, I'm glad you guys talked about that with the sex and the kids, is that you want to make sure that with every failure that people go through in life, we offer them hope. We offer them an opportunity and a way to get back up and start again, because the world is silent. And that's one of the things that we're going to talk about in our topics too, as this month continues, is that we have a lot of people that have great voices, but they've never been given a chance to speak. And then when they start to speak, people silence them and they don't even get a chance to say what they want, or it crushes them so much it makes them feel like they are not even valued or even why speak. And so we want to be able to be in a state now to just let you know that, you know what, there's hope. Don't give up. Don't go into depression. Don't start thinking suicidal thoughts. Don't think that you're a failure. Don't think that you're the only one that's going through this, but that actually there are others just like you, and there's a team of people that love you and that believe in you and that support you and know that you can do great things. So outside of falling within the sexual boundaries, what else are some other things that people fail in that they think that they can't recover from? Like for you, from your perspective, as a young girl in high school, what is something that when you mess up on, you think that there's no recovery in?
Other than sexually?
Yeah.
Probably just the way you present yourself.
Okay, so explain that.
Maybe you fail at and you can't recover from. High school grades are a big thing, but I mean.
So with the pressures of school, is there a lot of kids that you feel like are around you in your school that feels like once they fail in school or classes, like it's over, like they have no...
There are some kids like that, but the majority of them don't think like that right now. They're more, okay, I'll get through this right now and I'll try to get better later on, or they just don't care. But then there are the students who are at that point to where, or it's just how they were raised. It's in their families to where that 90 that they got on the test is the end of the world for them. Like they're disowned from their families from that, just for that.
Somebody said bullying too as well.
So, they said what?
Bullying, being bullied.
Bad reputation.
A bad reputation and bullying, grades, popularity, hope, family. What about people who file bankruptcy? What about people who, because it's not just always sexual things in relationships. These are like life skills, things that people go through. Drop out of college. MJ, for instance, as a college student, oh my goodness, my hair. As a college student, what goes through a mind of a young person, a young adult who's trying to reach the top, manage to be in school, and become everything that their parents want them to be, and then it doesn't turn out the way they want, and so they feel like a failure. So help them understand what goes through a young person's mind. For those who may have kids entering into college, or leaving high school, going into college, or getting ready to graduate from college, help them understand some of the pressures that make them feel like a failure and make them feel as if they can't recover from this.
So one thing that's so hard about college is basically still trying to find yourself, and being overwhelmed and letting your body be overstressed. So when you're in college, you have multiple things that is on your mind and you're trying to worry about. So, for instance, is staying in school, making sure you're great.
Hold on 1 second. If you guys have a question and you want to come online and you want to say something, put in here, hey, ping me in, or say something, or you can send us a thing, I think a request where you can say, put me in.
Yep.
Say, put me in, coach, and we'll add you into the video so you can ask your question and we can go from there. Go ahead.
But one thing about college is things they worry about is making sure their grades are right, making sure that their parents know that they're actually trying hard in school, trying to find friends in college, and having somebody you can hang around, not being able to have money in college, so trying to find a job. That way you can have money to get food, because no matter what anybody says, at some point when you're in college, sometimes you get tired of asking your parents for money and you want to be able to have money yourself.
Yep.
So then struggling with all that stress and not knowing what you want to do when you get out of college, knowing that some people who get a 4-year degree when they come out of college not have a job, all of that stress really comes down on a person. And I feel like me being only 21, I feel like the most worrisome place that most people go through depression is between junior year in high school and junior year of college. Okay. That large gap. And the reason I say it starts in the junior year of high school is because the junior year in high school is when all your grades matter. You need to send out transcripts. You need to take the SAT. You need to take the ACT. That's when you're in sports trying to find scholarships and all that. And that's when the stress starts really hitting you. Your senior year, people say, that's a chill year. But if you're still behind and trying to get into a school your senior year, it's not really chill for you and it's still pretty stressful. Your freshman year in college is new for you. So you're pretty stressed because you're trying to find all the classes. You're trying to make sure your goods are good. You're trying to make sure the credits are good because now you just have a fresh start in college and you're trying to make sure your reputation for your GPA doesn't get ruined. Your sophomore year in college is basically, okay, this is around the time where I need to make sure I know what I'm majoring in, because freshman year you can go undecided and not have to worry about that. But your sophomore year, you got to figure out what you're majoring in and start taking the actual classes. So trying to figure out what you actually enjoy and what you want to do and find yourself, juggling between your personality or who you are and then what you want to work in and think about, is this what I'm going to do for my entire life? That's pretty stressful. So that's why your sophomore year.
So that makes you feel like a failure because you can't.
Especially if you're undecided your sophomore year and you still don't know what you do, it can go to a sense that you feel like you're failing and time is running out for you and you feel like maybe this college thing doesn't just work out for you. Around your junior year is once you have everything grasped, but the only thing that's bad about it is just trying to figure out how to find a job and actually how to find a career, and basically find internships while you're in college, so when you get out of college you have a job to go to. Because the last thing most college students want to do is, once they get out of college, is not have a job and then living with their parents still and then relying on them to give you money. So that's why it's still pretty stressful about that.
So does that make you feel like a failure? Like there is no hope when, after you've done all the high school, after you've gone through the college courses, and there's no job opportunities present itself yet, and you still have to stay home with your parents, and hopefully you don't not like us, but does that make you feel like a failure as a young person, to feel like I'm trapped?
Yes, because regardless whether most parents realize it or not, every summer their kids come back home and they have to find a job again. That way they have money, because they don't want to just stay in the house and do nothing. Regardless of what anybody says, a kid wants to go home from college. They see their parents working hard, paying bills and doing all this stuff, and they're still in college trying to find a job and figure out what they want to do. It's basically like hatching out of an egg and getting your wings and knowing you have the potential to fly, but too scared to fly yet because you still want to learn. So what's one thing I know I'm grateful for is that as I was going through my process, I was able to balance working and going to school between the two and basically find myself. A lot of schools educate you, but one thing they don't teach is basically self-identifying yourself.
I wanted to get back to that.
And basically knowing how to build yourself, because people who realize the identity of who they have are basically people whose parents are already millionaires or already know how to take over the government. So
one thing that we try to stress to as well for all the parents, if you have kids coming up in the house, it is not the worst mistake you can make is allowing your child to go to school to find themselves. You should be the one to help them identify who they are before they leave your household. So you have 18 years to be with your child to help them identify who they are. College is never meant to be a place to sharpen and to help them find who they are, because college will shape them wrong. College is meant to sharpen what you've already planted inside of them. So what we have made mistakes along the way with him is we tried to help him identify himself. He was our first child to go to college, but I wish I would have spent more time as a father. But Mr. Alex, you said this earlier. You said that when you plant the things of God inside of a person, which is the word, then they won't go far away from it. So that scripture is what we were able to stand on to pull him back into the fold. But now with the rest of our children, and even him now, he's still in our household, we are constantly driving and pushing them to identify who they are now within the safety of our home, because we know how to shape them up. We know their weaknesses. We know where they're lazy at, and we know how to prepare them to go out into the world. And so when my son and my daughters go out now, they already leave with their self-identity to know who they are, because we are doing our job of what they should be doing. And so now when I go to school, I know that I have the ability to be a person that can lead. I have the ability to lead. I have an ability to speak. So guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to take leadership courses. I'm going to take something that's going to sharpen my skill from what my parents has already given me. So when I'm at school, I am focused on sharpening and maintaining this skill level when I come out. Not to go to college and find out, oh, I like to be a doctor. Oh, I'm a public speaker. No, you should already have that already in the household. And we always ask that question all the time, my kids. What do you want to be when you grow up? Because for me as a father, if I know that my son wants to be a marketing director, then guess what I'm going to do? I'm trying to establish some type of business so that my son don't have to come back and work for nobody else. I want to make sure that if my daughter say, you know what, I want to be a teacher, I want to be an educator, I want to be a dance instructor, then guess what we're going to do as parents? We want to make sure that we can build some type of business so that our kids can go to school, learn this ability, and come back and work for us, not to be a slave to somebody else. This is the true way that you should build kingdom legacy within your house.
And so with that saying is so that the topic of there is hope, right?
Mm-hmm.
There is still hope. Even when you fail, there is hope. So oftentimes people will listen to this, or they'll see their kids after they've gotten grown. And most of the times people feel like they're failures because they look at their children and they see other people's children seem to be more successful than theirs.
Mm-hmm.
And so it would make a parent feel as if they're not successful or that they failed as a parent. And oftentimes one of the things that we see with parents, what happened?
Nothing.
Is that parents also get discouraged with losing jobs. They feel like, okay, if I've worked and I worked and I worked, and then all of a sudden I've lost a job, I can't provide for my family.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like an embarrassment. I feel like a failure. I feel like, what else is there for me to do? And so the word behind that one is, hey, pick yourself back up. Identify what it is that you can do in this season that you will enjoy. And know that if you've lost a job, then this is not the end of the world. What you have to do and understand is that season has expired. Everything is a season. There's a time and there's a place for everything. Maybe you maximize everything you should have done in that season. Don't beat yourself up about that. Understand that you may have completed everything in that season. And even if you feel like, well, no, I didn't really do my best, I could have done more. Okay, yeah, you could have. But now take that energy of that I could have. And if you still have the potential to get another assignment to work, then put that I could have in your new job assignment. Don't stay there and get stagnant. Don't stay there and get depressed. Don't stay there and get weary. Don't stay there and draw up in a shell and think that everybody is looking at you as a failure. No, everybody's behind you, really pushing you and wanting you to keep going. You just don't have enough faith within yourself. And what that is happening is when we fail and when we feel like that we can't provide or we can't give our kids what we need, we go into depression. And so we have to start being honest with ourselves and say, you know what? I need help. We don't talk about things. When we're sad and when we're depressed and when we're hurting, we shut down and say nothing. People have to play a guessing game to figure out what is going on with you. Why are you quiet? What is happening? And the inside of you is exploding. You're feeling as if There's nothing else to do. And so now manipulation can come in because you begin to manipulate yourself. How do you manipulate yourself? You begin to think suicidal thoughts. You begin to think, well, you know what? If you don't have no value now, you might as well take yourself out. At least they can get your insurance money. Well, no. If you kill yourself, they still going to be in trouble because they won't have no money.
Yep.
So the thing is, talk. There is hope.
Yep.
You can get up out of that dark place. You can get up out of the pits of depression and start sitting there with the people that love you the most and say, you know what? Can we talk?
Yep.
I feel this.
Yep.
I feel that this is going on. So Juan is saying, growing up.
Twan.
Oh, his name is
My man Twan. What's up,
Juan.
bro?
Growing up, I never had my vision nor a dream. Therefore, education never made sense to me. My mindset was scattered because I was busy trying to conform to someone else's dreams for me. This was my problem in my search for significance because I grew up in the comparison game.
Wow.
And growing up in that comparison game make you feel like a failure. So at what point, Twan, because it looks like it's a T. At what point, Twan, did you come to yourself and pick yourself up and start loving you? At what point did you come to yourself and say, you know what? I'm going to make it just the way I am. See, there's hope because you can make it just the way you are.
Yep.
Big hair, no hair, big face, skinny face, you can make it just the way
Absolutely.
you are if you first believe in yourself. Getting up from the fall means, hey, I had a child out of wedlock, right? I had a baby before I got married. That was the biggest sin that you could have ever committed as a young female in my time and generation. Now it's a popular thing. Everybody in the soapbox, all the celebrities got babies outside of wedlock. Just about. Everybody want to be a mama with a baby to showcase, and none of them get married until after they have a baby. So now it's popular and it's okay to have babies, but it's still not right. It's still a failure. It's just the world has now spotlighted it and highlighted it as a success, but it's still not the way God designed it. But even though I missed the mark and I had a child out of wedlock, it didn't stop me from having a successful life. Was it hard? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Did I get depressed? Oh, most definitely. Did I want to cry? All the time and every day. Did I feel like I could never match up and be the mother that the child needed to have? All the time.
Yep.
Did I have thoughts and confusions that rolled through my head? Yes. But at the end of the day, what you find out is that there is strength in you that you don't even know you have until you keep pushing. It's when you stop and when you give up is that you realize that you're weak. But when you can keep going when you're crying, when you can keep going when you're hurting, when you can get up and keep moving, when your body is full of pain and your head is going crazy, when you can still keep going, you're much stronger than you ever thought you could be. So
Come on now, go
Keep
ahead.
going. You get distracted so easy. Keep going.
He was Spanish. I'm like, what happened? So, but no, I need you to understand you're bigger than what you think you are. You're stronger than what you think you are. You're much greater than what you could have ever imagined. So is there hope after the fall?
Absolutely, yes.
Is there hope after your marriage has failed and you've been with your husband for 40 years and he decides to walk away and now you feel like you're helpless and everybody's going to look at you like it's your fault? No, boo, it's your time to start over. Now it's your time to shine. Now it's your time to sleep across the bed the way you want to. It's your time to eat what you want without having to second guess where you're going. It's your time. See, you've got to now start looking at the world in a different way. We allow society and people around us to tell us what we should think, be, where, go, and do. So in this season, when we're talking about there is hope because now you have a right to speak your mind. Now you have a right to use your voice. Now you have a right to create the life you desire to have. Now you get to be everything you want to be. If you want to be a failure, be the best failure there is. Do absolutely nothing and be proud about being a failure. But if you know you're going to be great, and even in your weakest moment you're going to be great, then you do you. That's how the sick people get healed. That's how the deaf people begin to hear. It's because we have enough favor and revelation in ourselves to bring dead things back to life. So I don't know about you, but I'm tired of people telling me that I can't do stuff anymore. I'm tired of people telling me of what I should be doing and how I should be doing it. It's just a point in life where it's just, I'm going to do me. I'm going to do me and God. I'm not doing me being rebellious, but there are moments when it's okay to do you. And I think that's the problem. We get so focused on people telling you, well, don't do you because now you're independent and ain't nobody. No, you do you in God. Because if you don't do you in God, you're doing somebody else.
Yep.
I think it's time to do the questions.
So any questions?
So,
What time is it?
It's almost there.
Almost
So
there.
basically, if you have any questions, this is the time we do questions where we'll put you on the live stream. It is one question.
It's a button here at the bottom. It's a button. So if you notice here, I'm gonna show you how to do this. If you have a question and you want to come on live, if I show you here at the bottom left or my right hand corner here, at the bottom right hand corner, if you hit this green button with a man here, Ariana Singer wants to be on your video. So just like she just did it.
So you click
So
this
you click this button here. When you click this button here, this is going to pop up and it's going to show that you want to come on live. And it's going to give us a notification. And then once we receive the notification, we hit the button and then you come on live.
So
okay?
You can do Ariana and take her off so it won't still be in the way it's like somebody else is there. So it's... So to
Approve. Oh,
you closed her out. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so if anybody else... Somebody said something. One said something. Twan, what did he say? After 10 years of incarceration, I realized that the world was not looking for me, but the world was looking for what I was carrying inside of me. I understood my value was in the gifting that God had placed inside of me. And only then, so this is Twan answering the question of at what point did you realize that you were great? At what point did you stop listening to people? So his response is, after 10 years of incarceration, I realized that the world was not looking for me, but the world was looking for what I was carrying inside of me. I understood my value was in the gifting that God had placed inside of me. And only then did my education make sense. My gift had to his gift had to be coupled with the education.
Gift, then education.
After he realized that they were looking for him.
Yep.
Most men mistake their value in education in their jobs. I have realized that you can get fired from a job, but you can't fire me from my gift.
Yep.
This is what makes you valuable. That is so good. And see, even then, after being incarcerated, you could have stayed in a nobody want me zone. You could have stayed in a place of failure, but you chose differently to look at the lifestyle that you've been given as a second chance to do something great. And now you're living one of the best lives that you could have ever created. So that's good.
We have one person want to come on.
Where'd she go?
Did they hang up?
Let's see, Cynthia.
Ping it again. Somebody was trying to come
Somebody
on
was trying
and
to
we
come
missed
on.
it, so do it
Just
again.
ping it
Cynthia,
again.
I think you were trying to come on. If you want to come on again.
And as you come on, let us know where you're coming in from, what city you're from, and then introduce yourself and then present your question. Okay?
So do we have another one that we missed?
No, not yet. It'll pop up on your phone here.
Pop up here.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about question. Because we only have like a few more minutes before we have to get off.
If you want to come on live, just hit the button again so we can bring you on. Okay? Or any other questions that you all have. This is great. Great opportunity.
And tag people that you know are battling things, that they feel like that they have no more hope. Like they're giving up and everything around them is closing in and crashing down. I want you to tag them and send it to them in a message, a text message, so that they can come back and watch this. Because what it does is it's supposed to bring life. We hope that what we're doing, we're taking time out of our schedule. Go ahead, add that one. Why don't we see it?
Where's it going?
Oh, add? Oh,
Okay.
I think we should have Antoinette is adding. Let's see.
Let's see how this works.
Come on in. Maybe is it waiting on you to accept it?
It may be waiting on you, Antoinette. It says it's adding you in now. So let's see how this works. This is exciting to see this. Pop up.
But as I was saying, as we're waiting on Antoinette to join us, if you know people that could use this, we're taking time out of our schedules, out of our family time. We're trying to get this.
And it's weird. It told me to rotate my phone first.
Okay.
So is there hope when your children are teenager, adolescent, older adolescents, and even grown? Where do I start at that point?
Hope for what?
Jesus, trying to get them on the right track.
Okay. You want to answer that one? Okay.
Very good.
So,
Thank you.
to that question, I personally can understand that. So, when I did go astray for a little bit, I guess y'all can say I went astray. I'm pretty sure my parents felt like that too, knowing that there was still hope for me, and I know they continued to pray, because it became to a point where I did not want to be a part of the church. I wanted to go my own route. I wanted to do my own thing, and I wanted to be separated. Of course, everybody knows once you're under that covering from God, you do get to see the wrath of the world, and I did see that very harshly. That's when everything started coming to me. I went through depression. That whole scenario of me wondering if my life was even worth being on this earth. I went through a whole lot. But to answer that question, yes. Regardless, remind you, Jesus doesn't work on our time.
Good.
Time is for us so we can keep our sanity. So whenever their time is right for them to come back, whenever their fruit is ripe just for the perfect time for them to come back, they'll accept it more. Because I do believe that in order for me to really understand who I was and to get the power that I have and to understand, for me to get to the perfect potential, I had to go through that season. And it's a season that everybody has to go through. So I know it might not be too long for you, or you feel like they need to hurry up and do it now, but God realized that there's a certain time they need to come in, and if they just have to go through something for them to really open their eyes and to come back, regardless, you're going to get your fruit. You're going to bear your fruits. It's going to be a blessing for you. But in order for that blessing of fruit to happen, you have to let that fruit grow and be the fruit it needs to be. If you try to pull the fruit too early, it can be nasty. It's not right, and you can get sick by trying to eat that fruit.
Wow, that's
Very
good. And that's good too, because it's so important also that people read their Bibles and be able to have the foundational principles to stand up on when you go through that season. So for me, when our son was going through this season of rebelliousness, when we call it, he took stupid pills. He took like a whole bottle. He was going to his pharmacist getting refills on his own of stupid pills. Ariana said he was what?
About to OD.
He was about to like OD on stupidity. It was just like, the only thing I had to do was I had to stand on the word of God that said the seed, this is our seed, the seed of the righteous shall be saved. So when I stood on the fact that, okay, God, your word says the seed of the righteous. I am a righteous woman. The problem is the parents aren't righteous.
Yep.
So if the parents aren't righteous, you can't expect your seed to be saved. Hello, somebody. That's like an offering. I don't have my cash app up. But see, most people trying to get their kids saved when they not righteous themselves. But the word of God says the seed of the righteous shall be saved. So because I was righteous, that means I was in right standing with God. I was doing the things that I needed to do to be in the right standings of God. Was I perfect? No. But I was living a life that was pleasing to God to save my seed. And so what happened was, in that moment of me standing on the word that says, God, the seed of the righteous shall be saved, I took my hands off, because as a parent, we like to control the kid. We like to turn their necks and their heads and their bodies and say, go do, be this, that, and the third.
Yep.
And what we had to do was, I had to take my hands off of this boy, and I had to say, God, that's your boy. That's your seed. You gave him to me, but now I'm giving him once again back to you. And see, what happened was, when he was a baby, the first thing I did was, as a child, I gave him to God.
Yep.
And then when he became a young man in his teenage years, I gave him to God again.
Yep.
And so now the third time I gave him, the Father, the Son, and the Spirit, the third time I gave him back to God was when he was wanting to do his own thing. And I said, God, this is your boy. You can cover him way more than I can cover him. You can talk to him even when I'm not there. When he stopped listening to me, your spirit will resonate up in him and make him convicted and make him come back when he needs to come back. And that's what happened to him. And that can happen to you. You have to get to a point that you understand that, you know what, I got to take my hands off of him. I cut his allowance. We cut his allowance off.
And I was going to say that too as well. So I would say this is what you have to do. There were two questions that came to as well. This is what we had to do. There was two things that we had to do. We had to turn up the spiritual and release the physical. And what do I mean by that? We turned up. We never stopped praying for him, but we had to take off feeding him. So he was getting allowance to where we was taking care of food and getting things, and we were doing all these things. But when the moment he decided that he no longer wanted to honor the code of the culture that we had built inside of him, then we had to remove everything else. Because I told him this, I said, you know what? Everything that I'm giving you, God gave me. And so if I keep giving the things that God blessed me with to somebody who's not in the same alignment, then God will hold me accountable for giving you something that God gave me. So it's almost like this. Somebody call and ask you for something and you know I may be going wrong. And you know they never give to nothing at all. They always been a taker. They're never tithe, they never give. But they call and ask you for the money that you tithe for and God bless you with. So everything that God blessed me with, I'm responsible for how I release it. And so at that point in his life, the physical aspect of it was like this. Okay, son, you know we love you. You know you're the prodigal son. You know you have much more value, and everything we have, you have it. But if you are not operating under the same alignment, under the righteousness of the singleton household, then you cannot receive the benefits outside of the righteous alignment of our household.
And that's good too, because most parents do, and I can't say do, they want their child to be blessed and they want their child to be prayed over to get out of a stray. But while they're praying for their child, they're still feeding them and giving them the necessities they need to survive. So they say they want to give their child to God and let God handle them while you're still under the radar feeding them and letting them survive. So they can't really experience what they need to experience, and God really can't bless them because you're still trying to put your hand in on the blessing, and you could be the very reason why your son doesn't change or the son stops from getting the blessing.
You're trying to bless. The word says that sometimes you can't bless people that are cursed.
Where did you go?
Sometimes if somebody's already cursed and God is allowing them to go through a situation and you're trying to bless them, you are hindering them much more than allowing them to be released.
So, okay, and so whatever, the other question is, I think it's Marinelli. They have a book on here, so I want you to send me your book because earlier you posted about a book. So show people how they can get your book about the 5 points about earlier stuff we were talking about. But their question is, why did you go astray, MJ? What happened to you? And what did Dad do? So he kind of already covered what did he do about us moving our allowance. But why did you go astray? And then after you answer, why did you go astray and what happened? Pam has a question that says, what happens when the child feels like you living righteous is causing them not to want to be righteous?
Okay. So a reason why I went astray is because it was mostly fear. So I knew where I was headed. I knew the type of power I would have in my life, and I had a sense of what was going to happen. But me being me, I was still trying to find myself, and I was too afraid of accepting what was going to happen to me. And a lot of people know, regardless of, you can't run from God, and that blessing is going to come to you peacefully or aggressively. So
Very good.
Me being me, I went astray because I was trying to run from it. I saw the gift they had over their lives, and I saw the magnifying glass that was going to be over my life, and I didn't want that. At one point, I just wanted to be normal like everybody else, and I wanted to do stuff that everybody else wanted to do. So I was too afraid to get that giant blessing that I knew was coming. I decided to veer off and just find my own path. Because even in schools, and even teachers themselves or kids themselves would tell them, hey, you know, why do you want to do what your family wants to do? Why don't you do your own? You don't have to worry about them, which is really not smart.
And we had a conversation about that when
we had an argument about that because so the world sets you up to, they want to make sure that your family will never succeed or you will never build a metropolis. So I was in a mindset saying, I don't want to be under my parents' shadows. I want to move out and start my own thing and start over, which wouldn't be smart if we're trying to build a legacy for our family. So that's why I went astray. I wanted to do my own thing. And because I wanted to do my own thing, that's when I got the witness of everything. Because this is a strong man. I don't think I could do that by myself. But I got witness of all of the stuff that's happened to me. And then when I did go astray, I went through depression. Actually, my mom called me and told me to go home because she didn't know it at that time, but I was actually thinking about ending my life. I didn't want to be on earth anymore because that's when they cut me off. And then I felt like everything was happening. Everything was going downhill. I wasn't happy. I was looking happy on the outside, but I was really dying on the inside. So I was walking around my college campus like a zombie. And then my mother called me one day and asked her that, she told me she wanted me to come home because she said there's something that's heavy on her spirit and she needed to talk to me. And one thing that we both saw on Facebook that day was that we saw the couple killing themselves. The girlfriend, she killed herself first and the boyfriend killed himself after her because he was depressed. And we so happened to see at the same time. She called me home, and then I open up to her and let her know that what I was thinking and what I was going through, and then I actually opened up. And before that, she would always say when I would come home, there would be like this darkness on my face.
And and see, that's the thing. Yeah, baby. You can tell when your children are changing. They don't. Well, the righteous. Let me say this, because everybody can't see it. Because some of y'all may have masked yourself. But the righteous people, the people who really love God and are really trying their best. No, we don't do everything perfect. I'm not saying we perfect people, but I'm saying when you're trying to strive to have a good life in God, there's a different walk about you. There's just a different glow on your face, period. And so when you have your children carry that anointing and that glow just like you do. And so the reason why, like your question was, well, why is my child don't want this life? Like he was saying, they see the anointing on your life and they see how God works on you and they don't want that. They know God is powerful and they're scared, so they run. But when you are righteous, that seed is going to be saved no matter what. They'll have to go out there, but you keep praying. Like for him, when he was out there, God, the Holy Spirit would always give me warnings or inclinations of when he was doing stuff he shouldn't be doing. And I would send him a text message. I'd say, I don't know what you're doing, but God doesn't like it. I don't know where you're going, but you better stay home. I don't know who you with, but you might want to change your mind. And he was getting to a place, he'd be calling me and he'd be like, what you feeling? I'm like, what you mean what I'm feeling? I'm about to go someplace, but what you feeling? I'm like, I ain't feeling nothing. Wow, okay, that means I'm good. That's because he had gotten so comfortable with understanding that I was in tune as his mother with God, and that he was in tune that if something was off, he wasn't going to do it. And even if he decided to do something stupid, I gave the Holy Spirit to take cover and charge of his life to do that. So you have to understand that they just walk in that anointing, and he had a mask. You can see a mask on your children of darkness. You can see the spirit of heaviness on your husbands. You can see the spirit of heaviness on your wife. There's a mask. Like Doc A, when I'm in that heavy state, most anointed people always walk in depression. I don't know why, but most anointed people always have a depressive spirit that tries to attach themselves to them because of the great calling on their life. So you have to know that with the people that you're working with. One of my mentors told me, he's a scientist, and he said one of the gifted and most called people in the world always battle some type of depressive state, because the enemy understands that if he can get in the mind, if he can get with the person and distort their mind and get them out of the line and the covenant of God, he can destroy them. But as long as they have a connection, as long as they have a rope, as long as they have something tying them, it's something that can pull them from under the shade. And that's what he did. Although he was in that world, I still had a cord connected to him through God. That was our threefold cord, that when he had a covering, I could pull him out and say, this is the seed of the righteous. And that's all you do. You tell Satan, this is my husband. We are connected. We are equally yoked. This is my wife. She is this child. She is the seed. She's a part of me. You can't have her. These are my children. You can't have them. See, we are so easy to kick our kids out of the house at 17, 18, 19, 20 and let them be grown and let them do themselves. And then the enemy has them and you have no more space in their lives. So now it is a time to know there is hope even after the fall. If you fail as parents, there's hope. If you fail as a young person, there's hope. If you fell in a relationship and you got caught up with somebody that manipulated you and messed over your mind and broke your heart, there is hope. There is somebody else out there for you. If you lost your job, if you lost a house, if you lost cars, if you lost money, lots and lots of money, if you lost businesses, hey, there is hope. That is the bottom line. We want you to know tonight that you can start over again. You can believe and you can have anything you desire to have, and you can do and you can be and you can have the family you decide to have, only if you get up off your soapbox and do something. That's it. You just basically have to do something.
Very good.
Well, I think we've talked a lot tonight. Did you have any questions? You got something to say?
Jesus is
She just wanted to be in the picture, I guess.
Absolutely.
So thank you. Did we miss something?
Oh,
I think they're all just commenting and just, so thank y'all for being on here. If we missed some comments and topics and stuff, if you said something, we'll go back after the broadcast and we'll respond to them. Thank you for all the replayers that's going to catch this message. We pray that this message will touch your heart. It stimulated your mind, and most of all, it ignited you to start again tomorrow. You will get up excited and know that even though you've fallen, there is hope. And even though you thought you were counted out, you're going to be now on top. And you're going to be the one that everybody is going to be excited to see cheer, and support. So we love you. We love you. We love you. Thank you all for being on here. Thank you all for your time. Thank you all for your shares. And have a wonderful, blessed, and prosperous night. Y'all gonna sign off?
Doses.
Peace.